Snowdon, the highest British mountain south of the Scottish Highlands, is probably the busiest in the UK, and that doesn't come without its problems. Last year, the RAF rescue helicopter team at RAF Valley helped 217 people, mostly in and around Snowdon. Phil Caudle has helped quite a few in his time.
But when you go into the mountains, the weather can change very, very quickly. I'd rather be on the ground walking it rather than stuck in a steel tube that's screaming along. But looking out, it's fantastic and beautiful because you end up hovering in places that not many people have been to. The town of Llanberis, all the little villages around, when you're looking down, they look lovely, lovely places, and the lakes, the peaks and everything. It's very difficult to put into words in some ways. Sometimes when things do go wrong, you do feel very vulnerable as a person. And in that vulnerability, it can be quite difficult to think clearly at times. But yeah, I know it's all right.
Do you turn to God in those moments?
Sometimes I do. Now I feel very guilty when I say this because there are times you come back when things go wrong, and I shouldn't feel guilty. But I haven't turned to the Lord because there's so much happening. There are times that I do, and it's great. But the good thing is that we serve a Lord that is with us all the time. No matter what is happening, He's there, and it's tremendous. It's great reassurance for me.
Well, we were supposed to have a nice helicopter trip to Llanberis Pass. I was going to be winched up into the helicopter. Really looking forward to it. This is what actually happened.
Seeking 12262 Alpha, radio check. Around the left-hand side of the valley. The scope will be right and out if we have any problems.
We're all secure, all our harnesses and doors open.
We'd only started filming when we encountered a problem.
102.
We'll sit down,
Okay, right. We've actually got a fixed torque on the number 2 engine.
Okay, no response. We're frozen engine at number 2 engine.
Master Aircrewman.
The Sea King has 2 engines, and the computer linked to the fuel supply to one of the engines failed,
The flight tower aware. Thank you.
which meant that it had to be controlled manually.
Full use over the engines. We've still got both our engines working.
If they had been winching, the crew would have carried on, but we returned to base.
Master caution.
That's just because...
The rescue cover for the area wasn't compromised, as other helicopters were available. I was rather anxious and I felt quite vulnerable, especially when I saw the reception party waiting for us back at RAF Valley. I just can't imagine what it must be like to be under fire in a war zone in these conditions.
We won't be landing as a traditional helicopter landing. We'll come in like an aircraft and land on our wheels and go down the runway.
Gears down for green to brakes are off.
Last year, the difficulty was operating in an area overseas where it was dangerous and difficult. And in those situations, I found myself completely, in a sense, naked, because I was away from everything that is secure to me. And when you leave that security, you have only one place to turn. I went through some bad situations, saving people's lives, yes, but in very, very difficult situations.
Do you think you would have survived without having God with you?
Physically, yes, I would have survived. But mentally, I find it very difficult to understand, and this is probably ignorant of me to say, but I find it very difficult to understand how people can live their lives and not know the reassurance, the love of the Lord Jesus in their lives. Because what I have is wonderful, and I can't comprehend living my life without the Lord Jesus in my life. I'm here to represent the Lord Jesus, and I have no embarrassment saying that at all.